Hello everyone, my name is Srishti Taneja. In our last video, we studied the short story named Intrusion, and today we will be studying a humorous play with an interesting plot named Menaechmus Brother, written by famous playwright Plautus. So, let's come to the introduction of the play. So, The Brothers Menaechmus is a comedy of mistaken identity written by the Roman playwright Plautus around the beginning of the 2nd century BC. It poses a question to the stratified society of Plautus's time. It also criticizes over how females are looked down in a male chauvinistic society. Let's study about author. Plautus was a Latin playwright born around 2054 BC. He wrote about 130 plays, and all his works were influenced by Greek theatre. He established Roman drama in the Latin language. Let's study about the play. Sophocles of Syracuse and Menaechmus of Epidamnus are two twin brothers who have grown up in different cities since being separated by fate at the age of 7. Sophocles was renamed as Menaechmus in remembrance of his missing twin, for whom he has been searching the Mediterranean for years in hopes of finding his long lost brother. His pursuit leads him to Epidamnus, where Menaechmus, the original one, resides with his wife, to whom he is unfaithful and is having affair with a prostitute named Erotium. Unknowingly, Sophocles stumbles onto the very street where his brother lives, and the rest of the play involves the inevitable cases of mistaken identity. While Erotium's cook prepares the feast, Menaechmus and Penniculus go to the forum. At this point, Menaechmus's brother arrives in Epidamnus with the slave, Messenium. Erotium and her cook invited Menaechmus too to feast. Although he is taken aback at first, since he has no idea who Erotium was and had been cautioned by Messenium about Epidamnus' brevity and debauchery, he ultimately enters the house and leaves Messenium in charge of their money. Penniculus is furious at being excluded from the feast after mistaking the drunkard and well-fed Menaechmus to his twin on his way back from the forum. Erotium gives Menaechmus the stolen dress with request that he have it altered, which Menaechmus steals for himself. The original Menaechmus, on the other hand, had a striking turn of events. His wife and Penniculus chastise him and tell him to go get the dress. When he approaches Erotium, she accuses him of attempting to con her since she believed that he had already taken the gown. Menaechmus too has an argument with Menaechmus' wife, who brought her father to defend her and persuade her husband to behave. In contrary to what she expected, her father came and showed his misogynistic attitude by scolding her for being contentious and equivocal to Menaechmus. He thrashed her and asked to be grateful with the fortune she had received post marriage. Menaechmus too pretended to be insane in order to get rid of them, assuming that they already believed he was losing his mind because he refused to accept he even know who they are. The wife's father rushed to the doctor's office seeking to comprehend what was wrong with his son-in-law. When he returned with the doctor, however, they ended up examining Menaechmus himself, who had no idea of what was going on. His exasperation was interpreted by doctor and father as signs of his madness, and they rushed to get slaves in order to apprehend him. As the slaves tried to take him away, Menaechmus was rescued by Messenium, who thought he was his master. The grateful but bewildered Menaechmus agreed to free Messenium from slavery in return. Messenium then bumped into Menaechmus who denied that he had freed him and continued to treat him as a slave. Just as the knot of the confusion seems intractable, Menaechmus himself entered the stage at that time. It was Messenia who noticed the resemblance and realized that what had been happening. The twins reunited at last, and the confusion laid to rest. Messenia was granted his freedom, while Menaechmus decided to sell his property and return to Syracuse with his brother. Let's come to some themes of the story. First one, identity. Identity is a significant theme in this play. For nearly the entire play, Menaechmus of Syracuse is startled by everyone in Epidamnus knowing who is he is, while he knows no one. In fact, Messenia warns him that the city is full of people that cannot be trusted, and everyone knowing he is only proves that. Throughout the play, characters interact with one another without fully knowing who they are speaking with, even though they think they know. Both Erotium and Menaechmus of Epidamnus' wife think that they are speaking with Menaechmus of Epidamnus during the play, when they are in fact speaking with his twin. The fact they think he is Menaechmus of Epidamnus, who is just behaving strangely, leads them to believe that he is mad. Second theme, slavery. Slavery is a theme throughout the play, with each character being a slave to something or someone. Most obviously, Messenia is the Menaechmus of Syracuse's slave, while Paniclus is to the other brother. Also, the character of Paniclus is called Sponge or Parasite in the play, which in some way demons their status as a human. Also, the Roman society didn't consider slaves as a part of normal crowd of citizens and didn't allow them to entertain basic rights. However, other characters are enslaved as well. Paniclus, for example, is a slave to his appetite, doing whatever it takes to ensure he gets to feast. Indeed, sating his appetite is his only concern. Menaechmus of Epidamnus is a slave to his social obligations and responsibilities. Menaechmus of Syracuse is enslaved by his search for his brother. Plautus subtly criticizes this differentiation of social classes by giving a special attribute of intelligence to his characters of slaves. Brush and Messenia are two of the cleverest characters in the play, though they are the lowest rungs of the social ladder. Next, we have his gender roles. The Greeks and Romans seem to have pretty recognizable views on gender. Woman is either a becoming courtesan or a carping wife, intent on preventing her husband from indulging in the pleasures he is putatively due. Men are the public figures going out to work or socialize with friends or travel the world. Men are the authority within the home, but depending on their social status, they have cues to follow and roles to play in society at large. Unlike the women, they must meet their obligations, but they have a much larger degree of autonomy. The last theme, pleasure versus obligation. The wife and erotium represent the two poles of a Greek man's life, obligation and pleasure. The wife constrains and represses Menaechmus, holding him back from the pleasures he wishes to indulge. Related to that, Menaechmus I also has to attend to his business at the forum, a tedious situation that vexes him. By contrast, erotium and her offerings of sex, praise, and good food and drink are everything that Menaechmus one desires but cannot have as frequently as he wants. When he balances obligation and pleasure, life is generally tolerable and harmless. But if he behaves out of line, then the balance is threatened. We come to the most important thing in the story, which is objectification of women throughout the play. We saw that humor elements in the play are at the expense of women as if they were devoid of any emotions. It is evident throughout the play that how women are objectified in Plautus's period as the character of wife is devoid of any specific name, unlike other main characters or even the characters of slaves and prostitutes. The protagonists of the play, the two twin brothers, are characterized as womanized and dehumanizing by Plautus. Not only this, the protagonist, but even the slaves also had the power to dehumanize the wife, where we saw that wife was being sold in auction towards the end of the play. Throughout, Plautus has presented a society where there was normalization of inherent sexism. Let's come to the conclusion of the story. The play concluded with few closing incidents and giving few significant ideas at the end. The Menaechmus brothers ate the end united. At the end reunited, the slaves got their freedom and a comment by the slaves for the wife, giving a symmetrical ending to the play. Where the play started with misogynistic attitude, it ended with same as well. Essentially, almost the entire play featured dramatic irony, which gave a hilarious tone to the play. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you liked the video. And for any doubts, do comment or ask in the comment section. Thank you.